Life is full of challenges, uncertainties, and moments that test our strength. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed by the noise of the world, stress, anxiety, anger, and frustration. We want peace, balance, and control over our lives. How to deal with life's ups and downs. It shows us how to find calm, focus, and strength, no matter what happens around us. You don't need to read long, complicated books to understand it. Today, I'm going to explain how Stoic philosophy can change your life, in the simplest terms, so you can start applying it immediately. The difference between what we can control and what we can't. This sounds simple, but think about how much time we spend worrying about things that are out of our hands. Whether it's the weather, other people's opinions, or the past, these are things we cannot change. What we can control are actions, thoughts, and reactions. This shift in mindset can immediately reduce stress. Instead of wasting energy on things we cannot influence, we put our efforts into improving ourselves and how we respond to the world. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, and you're late for an important meeting. The situation feels frustrating, right? But what can you control here? You can't make the traffic disappear, but you can control how you respond. You can stay calm, maybe use the time to practice deep breathing or listen to a podcast that inspires you. By shifting your mindset, you reduce unnecessary stress and gain control over your emotions. The Stoics believed that we should live in harmony with nature. Now, this doesn't mean going to live in the mountains or forests unless you want to. Living according to nature means accepting the natural flow of life, understanding that change is constant and that everything has a season. Life is a cycle of ups and downs. No one can avoid difficulties, and no one is always happy. We have to embrace this reality. Instead of fighting against the inevitable, we should learn to accept it with grace. Think about how seasons change. Winter is cold and harsh, but it doesn't last forever. In the same way, difficult times in life don't last forever either. If we accept that change is a natural part of life, we become less anxious about the future and more at peace with the present. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is gratitude. Appreciating what we have instead of always focusing on what we lack. This mindset can dramatically improve your outlook on life. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of more money, more success, more recognition. But this constant craving leaves us feeling empty. Stoicism encourages us to pause and reflect on what we already have. Your health, your family, your home. These are things that many people take for granted but are incredibly valuable. By practicing gratitude daily, you shift your focus from what's missing in your life to the abundance you already have. This simple act makes you happier and more content with life as it is. Life is not always easy. We face obstacles, setbacks, and failures. But instead of seeing these as negative experiences, Stoicism teaches us to embrace them as opportunities for growth. Difficulties are things that show what men are. This means that challenges reveal our true character. When life tests us, we have a choice. We can either complain and feel defeated, or we can use these difficulties to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Let's say you're facing a tough time at work. Instead of seeing it as a burden, try looking at it as a chance to improve your skills, patience, and problem-solving abilities. Stoicism encourages us to approach challenges with a growth mindset, knowing that every hardship is an opportunity for self-improvement. This might sound a bit dark, but one of the most powerful ideas in Stoicism is the concept of memento mori, remembering that you will die. Why is this important? Because when we acknowledge the limited time we have on this earth, we stop wasting it. We often get caught up in trivial worries and distractions. We hold grudges, waste time on meaningless arguments, and put off what truly matters. But when we realize that life is short, we start prioritizing the things that are truly important: our relationships, passions, and purpose. Memento mori is not about being afraid of death. It's about living with urgency and purpose. It reminds us to live each day as if it were our last. Ask yourself, if today were my last day, would I be happy with how I spent it? This question helps us refocus on what matters most and cut out the unnecessary noise. We are in control of our emotions, not the other way around. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings, but rather not letting them dominate you. The Stoics believed that while emotions like anger, fear, or sadness are natural, we can choose how to respond to them. If someone insults you, your first reaction might be anger. But Stoicism teaches that instead of reacting immediately, take a moment to pause and think. Is this insult really worth your peace of mind? Is it something you can control? Most of the time you'll realize that it's not, and reacting with anger only hurts you. By practicing emotional control, you gain power over yourself. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but responding thoughtfully instead of impulsively. With time, this practice leads to greater emotional stability and inner peace. The Stoics believed that living a good life means living virtuously. Virtue, for them, was the highest form of good and the key to a fulfilling life. This includes qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. In today's world, we often chase things like wealth, fame, or status, thinking they will bring us happiness. But Stoicism teaches that true happiness comes from within, from living a life of virtue. When you live according to your values and strive to be the best version of yourself, you experience a deep sense of fulfillment that no external success can provide. Changing your life with Stoic philosophy doesn't happen overnight, but the beauty of Stoicism is that you can start small. Begin by focusing on what you can control, practicing gratitude, and embracing life's challenges. Over time, you'll notice a shift in how you approach the world. You'll become calmer, more focused, and more in control of your emotions and actions. By living according to Stoic principles, you can create a life of purpose, peace, and resilience. So, take the first step today. Start applying these Stoic lessons and watch how your life transforms.